Welcome to the Straight Talk with your boy Riccardo Montgomery, aka the voice of gospel radio. Hanging out with you on this day the Lord has made, we will rejoice and be glad in it. I got a great show lined up for y'all today, man. We got some people on here. We're going to talk about a lot of great things. These folks are just phenomenal people, and they're running their own business, and also they're dealing with a lot of things. So we're going to talk about a couple of different topics. We're going to talk about it's December, so it's that love season. It's the love season. Everybody want to love on each other, as we deal with Christmas time, and also marriage, and also a little bit about fatherhood. So we're going to talk a little bit about those things, what's going on in the world, and how we balance our lives with all these different things. I mean, especially this time of year, we all are working, trying to provide for our families, and also, trying to be the best men that we can be for our children, and best husband we can be for our wives, and then also, the best businessman or, provider for our family. So, got a great panel lined up for you all. We got a preacher, we got two entrepreneurs. So it's going to be great. Well, really three. We're going to have one come in a little later on the show. Surprise for you all. So, first thing first is, let me introduce you to everybody. Bring everybody on in. All these folks right here are phenomenal people, like I said. So, welcome to the show, Reverend Christopher Winston Smart, who's my guest host today. As y'all know, he kicked us off when Straight Talk went live on Facebook and YouTube and all these things. And then a good friend of mine, very close young man, more of a brother, Joshua Scheinblum. He has his 5 Seasons Media, so y'all get ready to hear more about that. Got to shout him out. And then also this young lady here who's rocking Illinois, Southern Illinois, Eastern Missouri with all her things that she does, hair, makeup, everything. Man, whatever you need, she pretty much got it. So y'all shouts out, Miss Jonice Haynes. So welcome to the show, everybody. How y'all doing today?
Doing good. Thank you for having me.
Very good. Thank you, Riccardo.
Yeah, so look, y'all, we this, like I said, the top of the show, man, there's so many things that's going on in the world. But first thing is though, the love for what you do. Like Chris, I'm gonna kick it with you. I mean, you're a preacher. How do you find, trying to find balance in that love of ministry and making sure you keep your marriage life and personal life and the person that you are? How do you find to be able to balance those two different worlds?
Well, that's probably the hardest thing to do, is find the balance, because you love different things, so you wanna keep them, have equal distribution, but as we're not perfect, it doesn't always work out like you want it. So I just try my best to ensure that I'm present and communicate, because if you love something, you try to spend some time with it. You don't just let it go astray. After a while, you should miss it, and want to make sure that you recoup some of that time and just spend time. That's really all people are asking, is spend time with me, and that's why the holidays are so big on that. Getting families together, especially after all the pandemic and stuff like that that's been going on. We want to get families back together and be able to see the people that we care about on a more regular basis.
That is true. Those are, there's a lot of things happening, especially during this time of year, where you do want to spend more time with family, but work is work. And Josh, for you, I know that your business is growing and growing, and finding that the love for what you're doing, and you're like, oh man, this is great. But how do you balance your the love for what you do and the love for your family, and just making sure you balance those two worlds?
That's a great question, Riccardo. What I would say is, if you're wondering what the priority is in your life and you want to do something else, well, take a look around you and where are you spending your time. That's your priority. For me, my priority is my family. I don't own a business just to work. I don't think that you are your work. You are, what am I? I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a child of God. That's what I am. And my business, obviously something I'm very passionate about, but it's a means to support my priority. I have never worked harder in my life owning a business. It's so easy to spend every waking moment, every waking hour, just trying to do the next thing, because I've got news for you. There's always going to be something to do, especially if you're employing other people. There's always going to be something that has to be done. So for me, my priority is I want to drop my kids off at school every day. I want to pick up my kids from school every day. I want to be able to have breakfast and dinner with my kids every day. I probably work on average probably 15, 16 hours a day minimum. But I can tell you what, I am always there to drop off my kids. I'm always there to pick up my kids. I'm always there to have breakfast and dinner with my kids. So when you look at it mathematically, I probably spend about 90% of my time working. But I make sure that for those moments that I think are most meaningful, that I am there and I show up for my kids. And if you ask them, they probably say they see too much of daddy. So, and I'm okay with that.
Jonice, how do you balance out, the love for what you do? I mean, because you do some great work. I mean, people come in, if they want to impress their spouse or their boyfriends or, going out on, getting married and things, and you kind of spruce up their life, and then your work can take a lot of time. And how do you balance out the love for what you do and your family? I think we got to check your audio there, Jonice. Like you may be muted, so we may have to come back to you on that question. As we work on that, though, we'll take a quick commercial break, and we'll be right back with more straight talk right after these words from our sponsors. Simple Nurture is your one-stop shop for all your body care needs, providing skin, bath, hair care, handcraft soaps, candles, and gift baskets for all genders. And come on, where else can you find candles that smell like your favorite foods, desserts, and drinks? Simple Nurture products are handmade, and the owner, Barbie Jones, makes them without the harsh and harmful chemicals that you find in other body care products. Check out some of their products on their Facebook and Instagram pages at Simple Nurture, or call 573-397-4853, or go to their website at www.simplenurtureall.com to get your hands on the homemade products made from love. Simple Nurture, homemade products that are simple and nurturing.
What's up, everybody? It's your family member, Charles Jenkins. This means war. And listen, you're tuned in. Stay locked in to Straight Talk with my brother from another mother, Riccardo Montgomery.
Hey. Okay, Dax. Prostate cancer exam time.
Not happening.
Dax.
Listen, I'd rather do anything than get a prostate exam.
I'd rather sit in the middle seat on a long haul. I'd rather sort my nephew's Legos by color. I'd rather watch 50 Shades of Grey with my mom. I'd rather fold a fitted sheet.
Where's the corner?
Oh, here we go. Dax, a prostate cancer screening starts with a simple blood test, which we are already doing today.
Smart.
Seriously, it's that easy. Go to pcf.org to learn more.
Get close to the words of the prophets. God is in there. Moses told his people to put scripture in little boxes and tie it to their heads. Strap the Bible to your forehead. Shout proverbs from the rooftops. Post parables on your mirror and on your wall. Pack your margins with notes. Sing the Psalms as your prayers. Read Paul out loud like poetry. Know Isaiah by heart. Love Matthew like a brother. Squeeze the verses like oranges. Do like the Lord told Ezekiel. Eat this scroll and fill your stomach with it. So I ate it, and it tasted as sweet as honey. Don't just read the words of the prophets. Eat them.
You're listening to Straight Talk with your boy, Riccardo Montgomery. Don't worry. You ain't missed nothing. You just in a commercial break. We'll be right back with more Straight Talk in a minute. Welcome back to the show, y'all. We're gonna get those words right in there real quick from Miss Jonice Hayes, because there she is right there. You know, we fix technical problems real quick. You know, my executive producer works really hard to make sure we keep the show polished. But Jonice, the question to you was, how do you find the balance in what you do? I mean, again, you make young ladies who are getting married, you just make them look fabulous, hair and makeup and all the things that you do.
That's right.
Running your own business, you know. So tell us, how do you find the balance between the love of what you do and family time? Because, you know, like I said, doing hair and makeup, I mean, that could take some time sometimes.
Yes, and yeah, you know what? And doing hair and makeup is one thing, but you know, of course, well, everyone doesn't know, but I have other things that I have going on throughout the day, other businesses that I do. And it is hard to try to find a balance, but the good thing is I can make my own schedule. So I work around on the weekends. I try not to work. I try to spend, I try to make it to every baseball game, every band, concert. I just try my hardest to include my family in everything I do, whether it's working or whatever it is. I try to make time for it, because they're still, my kids are still young, and they're still in school, and they still need me there to support them, and so I have to make time for my kids. So, yeah.
Well, yeah, I understand that. I mean, because I do the same thing, working on the show, and it takes time. And I know me and Josh, we both talked about this. You know, making phone calls and talking to people could take up a lot of time. And you're just trying to keep everything moving forward. And I know you all the same way. I mean, like Chris, I mean, you in ministry, so I know, like, making phone calls and having phone calls and praying for people and all those things that take time. And same thing with you, Jonice. I mean, like, so many different businesses. But since I've talked about what you all do, Josh and Jonice, Josh, I'm gonna start with you. Explain your business and what is your business, so people know what it is that you do every day.
Sure. So I own a social media marketing and video production company. Who we work with really runs the gamut. It's everyone from Fortune 500 companies to smaller mom and pop shop type businesses. If you want to dominate on social media and you want to create ads that people don't skip, we're your people. And I think that given what I used to do in a previous life, where for a hot minute there I actually worked with Riccardo. I worked in television for about 12 years. And what I will say is, I think that if you want to be an entrepreneur, find a very demanding job that allows for very little of all of the things that we are discussing today. And when you decide, man, I'd like some more time with my kids, but you are not afraid of hard work, and you're not afraid to I guess give up what I would call that personal time to focus on your business, then you're going to be a heck of an entrepreneur. And I selfishly think, and you know this very well as well, Riccardo, television is actually a pretty dysfunctional business. more often than not. And while it has to do with communications, it's pretty ironic how poor it can be at communicating. So if you can somehow navigate a career through that industry, it seemed to me that, if you find something like, hey, I think I could do this a little better, um, and then you actually have that skill set, you're able to work with lots of different people, then I think you've got a heck of a business model. And that's pretty much what we've done, at Five Seasons Media. There's some things they do very well in TV, and I tried to grow those. And there's some things that I think that they need serious areas of improvement. I know you and I have talked privately about many of those things. And basically, I created a business doing what I know, the parts of the business that I really loved. And I wake up and I look forward to the day every day. Some days are easier than others. Some days are pretty hard. But I have to say, at this stage of my life, I could not imagine doing anything else. You have to love the grind, and you have to love the process. If as a social media marketer, I spend quite a bit of time on, Instagram Reels, and every other video is someone telling you, "I'll tell you how you could make $30,000 this month." Let me tell you something. Those times can come. That'll happen, but it is a lot of work to get to that point. And I can assure you that if someone tells you that you can build a business in a 12-second video, short of Gary Vee, who gives some very good advice, you need to really pray on that. And you need to really ask yourself, because your business plan is going to last a lot more than 12 seconds.
I agree with that. Jonice, tell us about your business. Just kick us out. Tell us about your business. Get some people come through the doors over there.
Well, I just recently opened my own hair salon and beauty spa. And so I've been doing hair for about 10 years now. It's just been pretty much just hair. So now, being that we have this new salon open, I'm doing body contouring, makeup. We have a barber, which is my husband, and hair and all. So we got a lot going on now. Also, I just recently bought a food truck. So I'm excited about that. We got some great cooks in our family, so I thought that would be a great addition. Uh, so we're now doing food truck. We're doing, food and hair, and also, of course, residential property that I've been owning for a couple of years now. So that's what I do every day.
All right, so you just a jack of all trades. And now this food truck,
Jack of all trades.
this
Yes.
food truck thing is new to me. I gotta hit you up on this thing now. Look, you could just set up. You could pop up anywhere and just give people food, haircuts, makeup, just whatever. And
Yeah, you don't give me no ideas now.
just send 10% over to your manager. That's all. Just send. But look, you said something in there that I want to pick up on that goes to the next topic I wanted to discuss with you all, and I hope the people that's watching this show is really picking up on this stuff. It's really good stuff. You said your husband is also a barber, so you partnering with your spouse in some of these businesses. How do you balance married life with all of this stuff too? Like, I know, we talked about the love of the business and talked about, how you guys want to be there for the kids. And Josh, I think your wife is working with you also. And Chris, yours too, as you do ministry. And mine too, as I do this show.
With her.
So how do you balance this married life? I mean, because I'm going to tell y'all something. I'm going to let her go first. Then I'm gonna put the guy's perspective on this. So I'm gonna let her go first. So how do you balance this married life, Jonice, with you and your husband working together?
Well, let me say this. I absolutely love spending time with my husband. I enjoy I be wanting to be around him every minute, every second of the day. I know that may sound like that's a little too much, but I absolutely enjoy it. And we love working together. We love spending time together. I love being around my kids. I enjoy my children. So I feel like my kids, my husband, we're all involved in this. We're involved. My kids are up at the salon. They're helping at the salon. They're about to be working on the food truck. They help with the properties, help this is a family thing. Everything that we do is all family. So we're around each other all the time. When they're out of school, they're coming to work. And that's a I think it's good for them. You know what I'm saying? Because it's all for them. So, in the long run, they're going to be the ones hopefully running everything, So I think it's good to have their hands in it right now. So,
So you pretty much you got your Fortune 500 company set up. I mean, just kind of like the how let me just go and be honest with you all. Jonice and I are cousins, so our grandmother, they had the farm, so everybody had to work on the farm. So as they was kids, our parents, when they was kids, they had to go out there and work on the farm, pick peas and stuff. And Jonice like, here's that same version, just modern day, where you get out here and you put your hands in it, and you learn what I'm teaching
got
you.
their hands in there. That's right.
It's nothing. Hey, that's what I'm talking about. But now we got her out the way, fellas. Let's talk for a second here, because we all know that if our wives is a part of, the business, that we not the boss no more. I mean, we are the boss in title, paperwork wise, but they pretty much, had their input in. Now, Jonice can say whatever she wants to, because we ain't talking to her husband. So however she say it goes, that's how it goes. But we're just having some fun too. But Josh, let's start with you. Like, how is it working like every day? You and your wife, y'all are putting things together and just making this thing grow. Like, how's things going? Like, how do you find that? So for some of the people out there who do work with their spouse and putting things together and really starting the business off, how do you find that balance to where husband sits here, work goes here, those different things? How do you designate the two? When it's time to be a husband, when it's time to.
Well, I think the important thing to remember is, no two relationships are the same. And my wife is my firm's executive director of marketing and business development. She's very good at that, and she was very good at that type of work long before she ever met me. And there's a very good chance that had we never met, she'd probably be doing something very similar. So I think that's important to understand. The first thing, when you own a business, it's very, very, very time consuming. And at least speaking for our relationship, and I think Jonice touched on this very nicely, for us, it works. Before, when I was working in television several years ago, I was at work at 7 a.m. I would be home at 8, 9 o'clock at night, unless they kept me around even later for the late night shows. It was a very all-encompassing career. And my wife worked in healthcare in a very similar role to what, she was a manager doing great stuff, but had a background in marketing and business development as well. And, when I started the company, it was just me. I had very modest goals at the time, but once things started growing, and I knew what my wife's skill set was, and I knew what she could bring to the table, for us, it just made sense. And, at least for us, we work very well together. We complement each other. I'm somebody who thinks about every single scenario that could possibly go wrong. My wife is very, I know this is a Christian program, so I'll use an acronym, very BA. Is that fine? BA. And she's the one, who's like, who makes sure that we keep our eye on the prize, that we work together. She's also, having worked in business development, she's very good at working with clients. I think, my personality is, I'm very straightforward. Sometimes probably too straightforward. I don't really sugarcoat anything. I don't think. Riccardo, you and I have been friends for, my goodness gracious, since 2010. Mm-hmm. I think that better than most people, you never doubt where I stand on anything. which is not always, which I think is always, which is good in business. Clients want to know where their service provider stands, but sometimes, you need someone with the skill set like my wife brings to the table, who can tell it in an articulate way, but in a way that empowers people. And I think that recognizing for us that we complement each other, that we like working together, that as entrepreneurs, I love the process. I like the process of working at something every day. My wife likes that as well. If you have personalities that complement each other like that, if you have skill sets that can work together for the same sort of company, that also works. And just one more point, Jonice isn't the only one here who worked on a farm. I grew up picking tobacco. My father grew up picking tobacco, and I believe his father did as well. And I can tell you what, and my wife grew up in rural Iowa on a farm. I think that if you worked on a farm, you know a lot about hard work, especially if you've done the really dirty, dirty, dirty work. And tobacco work is very dirty work. And my wife, they had hogs and pigs and detasseling corn. That's also very dirty work. And if you can humble yourself and you're not afraid to get your hands dirty, then you have that type of personality to run your own business and to do your own thing. And I think because we both came from those types of backgrounds, that's just another reason why we work so well together in our current business. But don't get it twisted. I mean, we don't always see things eye to eye. But to Ricardo's point, I don't think I've ever actually won one of those arguments. And to my wife's credit, she is always right. And assuming she's watching this as well, honey, I love you, and it is the truth. You are always right.
Just throwing those. See, y'all heard a little glimpse of what he said. That he always get straight to the point, because he was like, "Look, don't be excluding me, because I worked on the farm too. I gets my hand dirty too. So I've been out there picking. Y'all may have picked peas, but I was out here with tobacco. I was." My God,
yeah.
man.
Yeah, we picked peas too. But which is, I mean, that's tough work as well. But tobacco is dirty work. That's a dirty plant. I mean, we used to you can't wash your hands with soap and water after picking tobacco. You need turpentine. You want to make sure you don't smoke. Pick tobacco. That's the truth.
All right. Well, you know what? Let's segue over to the minister. Rem. Chris, how do you find balance? I mean, I'm pretty sure you probably got a scripture you're going to throw at us. But how do you find balance, with your wife in ministry and you in ministry?
Really, it's about supporting one another. It definitely supports me in everything that I desire to do. Even if I don't have the gumption to do it, she will push me like, "Hey, this is what you said you want to do, so let's get after it." And finding that balance is easy when you love the person that you're working with, as well as love what you're doing. I've been working in ministry since I was a kid. My mom was a missionary, and so living in Honduras and getting out there with the people and really ministering to people at a young age makes it simple for me to do it now. And meeting somebody that has those same goals and aspirations to care for people, it's easy to work together with my wife. I mean, we can talk about anything with somebody and really have them understand, because they're getting both points of view, male and female. They're getting uh, the communication aspect of it, because women communicate different than men communicate, just off top. And sometimes something that I'll say doesn't make sense in a female's eyes, but when they say it doesn't make sense to a man, But when it's all broken down, you're actually saying the same thing. It's just two different perspectives on how it's received and how it's given out. And so finding that balance is simply just enjoying who you're with and enjoying what you're doing. My wife, she sells paparazzi as well as T-shirts, and so I enjoy um, watching her succeed. So I'll give my input whenever needed. Yes, she's the boss. She's the boss in almost everything. Uh, but but at the same time, she allows me to be the husband and the leader. And when it's needed, I do my best to be there. And so it's just, once again, it comes down to just caring for the business that you do as well as the person that you're with. And that's what allows it to flow a little smoother. It's not going to be perfect, but as long as you understand the language that's going back and forth, you're going to be able to navigate that lane and find the happy balance to be able to maintain not only your business but a very happy and healthy relationship.
And this conversation that we're discussing today with everybody who's watching the show is to really help you all just try to find your balance. Like these are the things that these individuals that they do. But I hope you are listening to what they're saying, because it seemed to be the all common factor, and that's um, respecting their spouse and their ideals and things that they want to do. We're having a little fun, just joking around with it a little bit, but at the same time, also just showing the love that it takes to be able to be an entrepreneur. I know a lot of people out there who are looking to get started with their business, and it takes a lot of hard work. And these are just reminders from people who are in it, that are doing the work, that's in it right now. you know, as they begin to grow and as their businesses grow, um, these are just learning tools that you can store in your pocket. I said before when I was talking to him and as I was bringing him into the show, you can watch other shows and you see, people who are really successful and at the top of their game, on these big time shows. And I always wanted to make this show about the people that are on the street, that's hand grown, that's homegrown, working their way, through obstacles and different things. And this is a great topic for, I hope, you who are out there, watching and learning and picking up on some things. And then I hope you all support these people. If you need a word, see Minister Winston Smart. If you, starting your business and you're having trouble with social media, we have someone here for that. And if you want to, take you some glam photos and do all these things, we have someone who can help you out, or need a food truck in front of your business, try to bring some folks to it, or if, you're looking for real estate, we got it all covered. Straight Talk got it all covered. That's why it's the Straight Talk. So we're going to take a quick commercial break and be right back to wrap up the show right after these words from our sponsors. Simple Nurture is your one-stop shop for all your body care needs, providing skin, bath, hair care, handcraft soaps, candles, and gift baskets for all genders. And come on, where else can you find candles that smell like your favorite foods, desserts, and drinks? Simple Nurture products are handmade, and the owner, Barbie Jones, makes them without the harsh and harmful chemicals that you find in other body care products. Check out some of their products on their Facebook and Instagram pages at Simple Nurture, or call 573-397-4853, or go to their website at www.simplenurtureall.com to get your hands on the homemade products made from love. Simple Nurture, homemade products that are simple and nurturing. You're listening to Straight Talk with your boy, Riccardo Montgomery. Don't worry. You ain't missed nothing. You just in a commercial break. We'll be right back with more Straight Talk in a minute.
From a baby's first steps to walking your daughter down the aisle, so many of life's precious moments are spent on our feet, and every step you take contributes to a healthier heart. By walking briskly for just 30 minutes a day, you can lower your risk for heart disease and stroke. So join us and take the first step to a healthier, longer life. The American Heart Association. Life is one.
Dear Heavenly Father, we thank you for this wonderful day. Thank you for everything you've done for us. We're here because we are blessed, and we are trying to make every day count for you, Father God. Thank you for everything. Amen.
Welcome back to the show, y'all. We got some great things coming up, but I want to share something with you all real quick. I was involved in this project the couple of weeks ago. We just talked about fathers with their daughters, all the things that, your concerns, the things, and all, try to, be the best dad for your daughters. And it got me thinking, like, just this, the whole thing, not only fathers, but sons, like fatherhood, man, and how hard it is. Just be honest. Because like for me, I'm an old school head, so I just go back to what I know and how I was raised and how strong-willed the men were, and then you got to find a certain balance too, to not only be firm but also know when to be soft and compassionate, and some things that me myself, be honest, I never really even thought of anybody being compassionate. Like I was in my 30s before I even heard a man tell me I love him. You love me, so that's type of stuff. It was like, it was just a different type of way of saying those things. But now, with me having my daughter, sons, it's just like, how do you balance those words from this to that? So I'll start with you, Chris. You got sons and daughters. How do you work on that? How do you find your balance in this fatherhood thing?
Well, I mean, when they were younger, it's a lot easier to find that balance because of their creative mind. They just want to spend time with you. As they get older and they find their own lives that they're going through, you're no longer directing them on where you want what you want them to do or how you want them to become themselves. Now you're just an advisor. You're a facilitator as they're older. My children are all over 20, and they they have their own issues, their life issues that, yes, I've already been through those type of things. So now I'm just an advisor. You try to set the stage, like, if you do this, this will happen. And if you don't do this, this will happen. So you're trying to let them know, that there's certain things that they have to pay attention to. And most of the time, they don't hear you until somebody else has said it. So you're just trying to really just find time to make sure that not only are you giving them advice, but that you're also complimenting them on the successes that they've achieved. It's very easy for us as parents to be very critical and be a no type of environment. But what they need is to hear that, yes, you did that, good job, and keep pushing, those type of things as well, so that they have that nice balance to realize what they shouldn't do and what they should strive for. And so that's where I find it.
Okay. Jonice, tell us, how do you when, as a wife and mother, as you see your husband navigate through this fatherhood thing, how does it, how do you see the balance in between the two?
Well, I'm old school too, and so we have two girls which are 21 and 23, and then we have three boys from the ages from 12 to 16. And when it comes to the girls, like you said, you got to have that sense of softness. You got to have that softness. So, which he has. He's definitely a girl dad. So, I and I feel like I'm a boy mom because I have a sense of softness when it comes to the boys. So when when it comes time to him lecturing or whatever, the boys, I step back. I step back with the boys and the girls. I just step back and let him handle it, because I remember growing up, my dad was the more firm one, but he also had a soft side. But that firmness got me in check pretty much. You know what I'm saying? Like I was afraid to do things even when I was, when my friends would be like, let's go do this or let's go do that. The first thing that always came up in my head was, well, my dad, what will my dad say? Or what'll happen if I do this? What my dad, so I like for my husband to be the one to really, you know, put his foot down because I feel like I just remember me growing up. Dad was always the one, even with my brothers. They don't play about my dad. The first thing, we always think about what will my dad do? So, I just step back and let my husband take the lead when it comes to that. Us women, I feel like we're more of the caregivers, when they're hurt or when they're sad, that's when we step in and we're there to comfort and so on. But when it comes to you know, laying the law down, trying to get him. I just step back and let my husband handle all that. So,
Okay.
so that's how we find that balance, when it comes to, you know, uh, putting your foot down and then also being, the soft one.
All right, Josh. What about you? How do you find the balance in this fatherhood and maneuvering things around?
Well, I'm a father of three, two boys, one girl. All my kids are under 6 years of age, so my kids are a little younger than everybody else's. When it comes to my daughter, I've never had to discipline her. She's an angel. So I mean, how do you fix that? I'm kidding, of course. I was very fortunate. I was blessed. I am blessed to have wonderful parents. My father told me every day that he loved me, and I know that that's not an experience that everybody has shared, but I've been very lucky to have that. God shows me every day that He loves me and He loves my kids, so I'm not afraid. And I don't think it makes me any less of a man to tell my kids that I love them too. I will say that I think as a father, and this probably goes hand in hand with entrepreneurship. I always wonder as a business owner, have I worked hard enough today? Am I doing enough today? Could I have done more? And as a father, I ask myself a lot that same question. But upon silent meditation and really thinking about it, and thankfully having a very loving wife, I think that sometimes as dads, we are way too hard on ourselves. We are not perfect. There's only one that's perfect. And while we strive for perfection, we're never going to get there. We are human. We have to give ourselves some slack. We are learning as well. Every day we're learning. I mean, I've been a father, going on 6 years here. It's been one of the most challenging, but also the most rewarding job that I have ever had. It is truly a labor of love. I'm still, frankly, probably trying to figure out what is that right balance between being too hard and too soft. And I think that I get better at it every single day. But I think that I also need to remind myself, that I'm relatively new at this too. And I would imagine the good Reverend and Jonice would, listening to what they say, I would make an inference that they would say that you never stop learning, that you never stop striving to be a better parent, and the process never stops. So, I would say, and sounds like you both are, and I know Ricardo as well. I mean, your kids are very lucky to have you. You sound like wonderful, wonderful parents. But I will say, to the good reverend's point, I have a father that I can go to and I can ask for advice, and we have that type of relationship. And he gives very good advice, and I'm very blessed to have that. And if I need to do a better job or I need to do something else, I think that's okay. That you recognize that there's an area where you need to improve. It's okay to be humble, but at least the best advice that I could give people who have young children, it would probably be to be patient. I think that we all have memories of when we're kids, but to actually put yourself seeing the world through those children's eyes is very, very hard. So do your best to empathize, be patient. Sometimes when they're throwing a temper tantrum, it's not like it's not like talking to somebody who's having a colleague who's your age and having a bad day. Sometimes it's not that they need to be talked off the ledge so much as they just need you to love on them and they need a hug. And that's okay too, right? That's okay too. It's not always the answer, and I don't think that there's a one size fits all approach. But listen to your kids, pick up on those signs, spend the time with them to know what makes them tick. And I think that if you and your spouse, first of all, put your marriage first, the rest seems to fall in place. And at least so far, knock on wood, that's worked out pretty well for us.
I agree.
I tell you what, man, you all got the perfect balance. Because my daughter, she reminds me every day how thankful I am to have her. But man, oh man, them tantrums come with this 3-year-old. Boy, I tell you, whew, it's we be in there having some serious conversations. No, you ain't gonna keep doing daddy this way. No, daddy is this. No, we be in there having us some fallout, serious conversations. But all jokes aside, man, I want to thank y'all so much for coming on the show today. It's been a great time. I hope that the people who are watching this show get a lot of knowledge, because we talked about some things, because you got to find a balance. And I know this Christmas season, sometimes we go above and beyond, trying to do the most for our kids, trying to do the most for our business, because me, I tell you, be honest with you, I think about like, we got to keep the lights on, we got to get the mortgage paid, we got to do this, and all those things, and you don't want all these other things to get in the way of this family time and really finding your balance and not overexerting yourself out there. And that's not only if you're an entrepreneur, that's if you're working too. If you're working for a business or a corporation, you got to find time for your family. Like Josh was saying, in television, they will eat up your day, and sometimes it just feel like it's just on purpose. I can attest to that, because you can start at 7 a.m. and 13 hours later something else happens, and now you haven't seen your family all day, and you're just tired, and you don't want to put yourself through that. And so, no matter what it is, find your balance with your work life and family time, and really just enjoy life. This life is meant to be enjoyed. I think Christ came here to make us work 24/7, 365. But you have some great people here who are on the grind, who are in the midst of everything. And like I said, if you have anything, go check their businesses out. We'll have those up, strolling across the bottom here on the show, so you'll see all their business, how to get to them and everything. Support them and talk to them, and I think they will love to hear from you. So with that, that's it for Straight Talk this week. Thank y'all so much. All my Josh, Jonice, Chris, thank y'all so much for coming on the show, man. And anytime y'all want to come back, please, you're more than welcome. So any last words for the people out there?
Godspeed. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for having me as well. And I do want to say, you guys sound like some wonderful dads. I had a wonderful dad growing up. I do have a wonderful dad. I mean, they always say, find us as women. We always want to find someone like our dad. I'm very blessed to have my husband. He's a wonderful father. He reminds me so much of my dad. And Riccardo, you are a magnificent father, and your daughter is just, that's my little cousin. I love her dearly, but she reminds me so much of you. And I'm proud of you because you're a great father. And Josh and Chris, both of you, just listening to your stories and, hearing everything, you guys sound like wonderful fathers as well. I know you are. And I'm thankful for being on the show today. Thank you, Riccardo.
Josh, any last words?
It's been an absolute honor to be here with all of you wonderful parents and fellow entrepreneurs and business owners. It really has been a wonderful time. But just to feed off of what Jonice was saying, Riccardo really is an awesome dad. He's a wonderful friend as well. I mean, truly, he's my brother from another mother. And I've been very blessed that he's included us, all of these years later to be with your family. You have a beautiful wife, beautiful sons, beautiful daughter. And, if you listen to this program, whether it's about fatherhood or not, I can assure you, you're going to learn some lessons worth taking home. Wherever Riccardo has gone in his travels, I just have to say I've made it a point to listen to his program. The internet's a wonderful thing, and I highly, highly, highly recommend it. Spend some time with the Lord and spend some time with a good friend. Very hard to spend better time than that.
Well, thank you, sir, so much. I appreciate all y'all, man. Everybody, I grew up with Jonice, so, I ain't got to say too much about her, we family, so. But no, I just love the fact that the entrepreneurial spirit that she has, and just do a thing, and actually she kind of look up to her, not, with not even worrying about taking a risk, and all of you all. I mean, Chris, you too, ministry-wise, we've grown together in that, and watching and working with you, we've grown in ministry, and Josh, just working together and just having the joy. One thing I always enjoy about you, man, is you just bring joy to me, man, and laughter, and always thinking of something new and kind of different, and never settling for what people throw at you. So I learned a lot from all of you all, and just doing what I do, and I want to honor you all, and I'm so thankful to have you here, come on the show, and really bless these people with some knowledge and of just how it goes. Again, like I said, this show is about homegrown people who are on the grind, that's doing it every day, that you can learn from and really get some tips on how to keep your business moving forward, or just how to find balance in your work life, because that's I really wanted to make the show about the balance and all these different things, because we get so distracted by so many different things in life that we can forget the important things, and family is the most important thing. At the end of the day, family is the most important thing, and having your kids look up to you and try to be the best parent and husband or spouse or whatever you can be is number one. So I want to thank you all for coming on Straight Talk. Hey, y'all go find this show, man. It's out there available anywhere. Again, look up these businesses, man. Go check them out. And if you need prayer or anything, my man Chris will be there for you. He'll help you out with that. So we'll see y'all next week right here on Straight Talk with your boy, Riccardo Montgomery. Y'all take care. Peace.